Close your eyes and picture this if you can. You're in the Lake District. You're walking away from the road. It's a beautiful day. You walk by the side of a lake, into some fields, up the side of a waterfall. You start climbing into the mountains. The land to each side of you is grass and boulders. You get above the tree line. It's a beautiful day. The sun is crisp. It's early in the year. You can see snow on the peaks in front of you. You look back and you can see in the distance a ribbon of road, which is the road that's coming over Kirkstone Pass between Windermere and Ullapool. And you can see a little dot of a building in the distance, a white building. That's the pub at the side of Sykeside Caravan Park and Camping Park. And on the edge of perception, if you hold your breath, you can detect sound. You can detect the sound of vehicles in the far distance. It is so faint as to be almost inaudible, but it's there and you can hear it because there's nothing else. There's no sound. It's a still day, so you can't hear the sound of the breeze through the grass or round the boulders or round the peaks. But you can hear it very, very faintly. Then you turn your back and you start climbing. You go a bit further and then you go round a corner in the track, and the fell side hides that view of the road, and all of a sudden everything is completely quiet. It's like being in a vacuum. It's cloying. It's as if the air has thickened up, gone from water to syrup, and you were just aware that you're on your own. There's no one else, there's nothing else but you up here, and it is profound. Like they say, silence is deafening, and it's a fabulous experience. And then you turn back and you carry on climbing, and in front of you the peaks are closer. Dove Crag, that's the peak you're heading for, is right in front of you, and the air has gone really, really clean and crisp and quiet, and you are moving forward through the landscape looking for things to see, to feel, to hear. You are moving to find that experience. This is actually a walk I did in about 8 years. I posted a video. I will leave a link in the description. No talking, just music. And it's my walk up Dove Crag, and in all my life that was probably the most perfect day on the fells I have ever had. You must watch it. That's probably as close to bliss that I've ever been in my life. It was absolutely out of this world. But I just use that as an example to compare the sensations of enjoyment in the city and the town and the urban environment, and the enjoyment and the feelings, and how we actually attain the enjoyment and the feelings in a more rural environment. Go to the city, for example. You go out for a night in the city. You go to a venue, usually, unless you're on a pub crawl. You go to a venue, restaurant, cinema, theatre, whatever, and you sit. Things are brought to you. Sensations are brought to you. Food is brought to you. A waiter brings you food. A PA system plays the sound. A band plays the sound. Conversation is there in the background all the time. You are sitting. You've been taking yourself to the environment. Sat down and the enjoyment has come to you. It's different in the countryside. That's not to say it's better. It's horses for courses. But in the countryside, nothing is brought to you. You go out to experience it. You move through the landscape. You move through the landscape. You actively use your ears and your eyes and your fingertips and your nose to take in, to absorb all the sensations that are there just waiting. And if it's a quiet day, especially sometime during the week, that I can experience because I'm retired, there's no one else there. There's no one else here. No, it's just me and Molly. There's not much wind, so all I can hear is birds. And sheep. I heard a sheep then over in the field to my right. But the sensations are there for you to go and discover. Moving through the landscape. Whereas if you're in the city, like I say, you go take yourself there, you sit. The chances are that you're experiencing sensations and sounds and music and theatre and sights that are actually someone else's idea of what entertainment is for you. Someone is creating, the band, the actor, the cinema is creating the sensation that they judge you will enjoy, and well you might, and it's great. It's not for me, I don't like cities. Many people do. And that's great. And one of the good things, I mean, I extol the virtues of slow living and slow life and simple life and enjoying the countryside, but I also appreciate that other people like other things and get their enjoyment out of other things. And I think that is absolutely fantastic because it gives us diversity. It gives us all something else to talk about when we interact with each other. It's no good going out and just talking to somebody who has exactly the same feelings as you, the same thoughts, the same desires, the same opinions. How boring would that be? So it's horses for courses. There's no right, there's no wrong. You can't criticise, you can't judge. You must never criticise, you must never judge. Whatever. You either sit or stand and have your enjoyment and your indulgences brought to you, which is fine. Your food, your drink. You don't have to actively engage. You just have to sit and be entertained. Fabulous. If that's for you, that's fabulous. Or, if you can be like me, you move through your entertainment. You move through the experience. Walking. Even the act of walking, especially if you're walking slowly like I am now, like I do. It's a rhythm. It's almost a meditative rhythm. Plod, bum, bum, bum. And once you get into that rhythm, your whole body gets into the rhythm. Your heartbeat gets into the rhythm. Your mind gets into the rhythm. Everything is working in unison, but independently. So you don't need to concentrate on anything. You just move slowly, gently through the landscape, seeing, hearing, smelling, feeling. I've just walked past a little gap in the woodland and I could actually hear the breeze going through grass in a field just for a second. Then it was gone again as I carried on. I can just about hear my feet on the ground. It's quite a muddy path, this, so it's a soft and your heart gets into the rhythm. It's difficult to describe the beauty of nature because when we describe the beauty of nature, we tend to do it from a standpoint away from it. When we're describing it to someone else, it's usually from a standpoint of not being in nature. It's like pain. They say that you can't really describe pain. You can't experience pain unless you're feeling pain at that moment, and I understand that. So walking through the landscape, your heart, your whole being, you're smelling, you're seeing, you're looking, because there's always more to see, isn't there? You don't get tired of looking because you're walking through a changing landscape all the time. It's a sunny day, but we're under trees, so behind us here there are holly bushes, and the sun is changing on them all the time. It's moving, it's creating a different scenario every second. You're in the city, and the electric lights, the music, the people you're conversing with is changing every second. So there's no right and there's no wrong. You want to get into the city? Enjoy yourself, have a great time. Try to get out in the country now and then, because it is nice. But whatever you do and wherever you are, make the most of it. So all I wanted to do was highlight the differences in the experiences, and now you get them. Totally different experiences. An urban city experience and a countryside experience. Totally different. In one, you tend not to move through the landscape. You tend to be sitting stationary while all your experiences are brought to you. Sounds, sights, food tends to be more stimulating, louder, quicker, more rhythmical. Music, lights, conversation, louder, a higher level, more stimulating. And you go home with a feeling of having a great time because you've been stimulated. The countryside, quiet, stillness, birdsong. So you come home feeling like you've been at peace, where you've been stimulated but in a different way, on a different level. More of a like spiritual stimulation. I hope that makes sense. Oh, that sun's nice. At the side of a field that's got a load of bracken in it, and it's all about as tall as I am. It's like Tolkien-esque landscape. Molly's loving it. She's over there somewhere. Where is she? I don't know, can't get her. Where are you, Molly? She's here. She's just sitting staring at me. Are you sitting staring at your dad, Molly? Look at her. Oh, a big yawn. Hello, Molly. Molly says, we will see you on the flip. Peace and love. Hey, Molly? What are you looking at?